You know what's crazy? Everyone thought my family was perfect. My Instagram showed smiling sisters, family vacations, and happy moments. But what the camera didn't show were the bruises under my sleeves, the cuts hidden by my hair, and the fear I felt every single day in my own home. My name is Emma, and this is the story of how a school photographer saved my life when everyone else looked away. I was 15 years old, standing in my bathroom at 6:30 a.m., trying to make myself invisible. That's what I'd become good at over the years. Disappearing, hiding, pretending. My hands trembled as I held the makeup brush, carefully covering the fresh wound that ran from my eyebrow down to my cheekbone. Blood had dried overnight, and now I had to make it vanish before anyone outside our house could see it. "Emma!" My mom's voice cut through the bathroom door like ice. "Picture day is in 40 minutes. Tell me you've covered it properly this time." "Almost done," I called back, my voice steady despite the panic rising in my chest. I'd learned to control my voice years ago. Showing fear only made things worse. The bathroom door flew open without warning. My older sister Rebecca, or Becca as everyone called her, leaned against the door frame with that smile. You know the kind. The one that looks sweet in photos but makes your stomach drop when you see it in person. She was 17, captain of the volleyball team, honor roll student, and my parents' golden child. She was also the person who'd given me this cut yesterday with a decorative glass picture frame. "Still struggling with your makeup skills, little sis?" she said, examining my work. "Here, let me help. I'm so much better at covering things up than you are." I wanted to pull away, but I knew better. I stood frozen as Rebecca grabbed the concealer from my hand and pressed it hard against the wound, deliberately making it sting. I bit my lip to keep from crying out. "Good girl," she whispered, so quietly that only I could hear. "Remember what happens when you make noise." Mom appeared in the doorway, already dressed in her real estate agent blazer, phone in hand. She glanced at my face, assessing the damage coverage like she was evaluating a property listing. "Better," she said with a nod. "Emma, if anyone at school asks, you tripped over the dog and hit the corner of the coffee table." "Yes, ma'am," I recited automatically. We didn't even have a dog. Dad had already left for his construction management job. He was good at leaving early these days, especially on mornings after Rebecca's bad days. I think part of him knew what was happening, but acknowledging it would mean doing something about it, and my father had never been good at confrontation. In the car, Rebecca sat in the front passenger seat, scrolling through her phone and laughing. Meanwhile, I sat in the back, making myself as small as possible. Mom caught my eye in the rearview mirror one last time. Straight to the gym for photos, then straight to class. No conversations with counselors or nurses. This is for your own good. You know what would happen if people found out about our family issues. Child services could separate us. You'd end up in foster care. Is that what you want? I'd heard this speech so many times I could recite it by heart. No, ma'am. The gym had been transformed into a professional photo studio. Bright lights, gray backdrops, and a line of students waiting their turn. I kept my head down, letting my long brown hair fall forward to cover the left side of my face. I recognized most of my classmates in line, but nobody really saw me anymore. I'd become background noise, the quiet girl who sat in the back. It was safer that way. "Emma Martinez," the photographer called my name. I walked toward the stool, my heart pounding. The regular photographer, Mr. Henderson, who'd been taking school photos for 15 years and knew better than to ask questions, had retired. This was someone new. The man behind the camera was probably in his mid-40s, with graying hair and kind eyes that crinkled at the corners when he smiled. His name tag read, David Chen. "Hi there, Emma," he said warmly. "Big smile for me, okay? These photos last forever." I arranged myself on the stool, angling my body so my left side was slightly away from the camera. I'd learned the angles over the years, how to hide a black eye, how to position my arms to conceal finger marks. "Perfect, but can you move your hair back behind your ears?" Mr. Chen asked. "School policy, we need to see the full face." My stomach dropped. I like it this way. It's my style." He lowered his camera, studying me with a photographer's eye. "I understand, but the school requires clear facial photos for ID purposes. Don't worry, you have a beautiful face. Nothing to hide." Slowly, reluctantly, I tucked my hair behind my ears. I felt exposed, vulnerable, like standing naked in front of a crowd. Mr. Chen looked through his viewfinder, and I watched his expression change. His smile faded. He lowered the camera slowly, his eyes moving from the viewfinder to my face, then back again. Hold on just a moment, he said, his voice different now, focused, professional. He reached for his phone. I need to check something real quick. Panic exploded in my chest. No, please, it's nothing. I just had an accident. I'm really clumsy. I tripped over my dog. Emma, he interrupted gently. I need you to listen to me carefully. Before I started doing school photography, I spent 23 years as a forensic photographer. I worked with police departments, crime scenes, and abuse cases. Do you know what that means? I couldn't breathe. The gym seemed to spin around me. That cut on your face, he continued, his voice low and kind. It has a very specific pattern. It's consistent with impact from thrown glass or crystal objects. The angle, the depth, the way it curves. I've documented hundreds of injuries like this. And Emma, I can see it's not the first one, is it? Tears started building behind my eyes. I walked into a door. I'm just clumsy. Mr. Chen set down his camera and pulled up a stool, sitting at my level. I'm going to take some photos now, but not for your school picture. These are for documentation. You don't have to say anything right now, but I want you to know something. This isn't your fault, and I'm going to help you. Who hurt you, Emma? The question hung in the air. Something in Mr. Chen's steady gaze, something in the way he didn't look away or make excuses, broke something inside me. A dam I'd been building for years suddenly cracked. My sister, I whispered. Rebecca. She threw a glass picture frame at me yesterday because I got a higher grade on our chemistry test. Mr. Chen nodded slowly, like this confirmed what he already suspected. Is this the first time? I shook my head, and suddenly words were spilling out of me like water from a broken pipe. I told him about the stairs, the car door, the curling iron. Okay, Mr. Chen said calmly. Emma, I want you to know you're incredibly brave. I need to call some people now. As the concealer ran down my face with my tears, more evidence appeared. Faded bruises, old scars, the map of my sister's violence written across my skin. Mr. Chen was already on his phone, speaking quietly but urgently. Then I saw Rebecca at the gymnasium entrance, her face twisted with fury. Next to her was Mom, phone already in hand. Mr. Chen saw them too. He stood up, positioning himself between me and the door. Emma, I need you to stay right here. Don't move. Help is coming. The next 15 minutes were chaos. Mrs. Patterson, the guidance counselor, arrived first, practically running. When she saw my face, she gasped. Mom swept in right after, Rebecca trailing behind her with fake tears already streaming down her face. There's been a terrible misunderstanding, Mom announced, her real estate smile firmly in place. Emma had an accident at home. Mr. Chen stood his ground, showing the images on his camera's display screen to Mrs. Patterson and the school nurse. Mrs. Martinez, I've spent over 2 decades documenting abuse cases. This injury has a distinct pattern consistent with thrown glass, and these older marks suggest a pattern of repeated injury. Rebecca stepped forward, her performance Oscar-worthy. That's insane. Emma is my baby sister. I would never hurt her. I looked at my sister, at the tears on her face that would disappear the second nobody was watching. The glass picture frame, I said, my voice stronger than I expected. The one with the beach photo in it. You threw it at me because I got a 96 on the chemistry test, and you got a 91. Mom's hand clamped down on my shoulder. Emma, stop this right now. It wasn't an accident, I continued. Just like it wasn't an accident when she broke my fingers with the car door. Mrs. Patterson pulled out her tablet. I've been keeping documentation, she said quietly. Every injury, every absence. I've been waiting for enough evidence to act. The police are on their way, Mr. Chen interrupted. I've also contacted Child Protective Services. The gym had been cleared of other students, but I could see faces pressed against the small windows in the doors. My private nightmare was becoming public, and part of me was terrified while another part felt almost relieved. I have more proof, I said, pulling out my phone with shaking hands. Hidden cameras in my bedroom. I bought them 3 months ago. Everything's uploaded to a cloud account. Rebecca's mask slipped completely. She lunged toward me, eyes full of rage. You little snitch! She never finished. 2 police officers walked through the gymnasium doors, followed by my dad. His face showed no surprise, just a kind of tired resignation. 3 weeks later, I moved in with my Aunt Lisa, my mom's sister. When she saw the full documentation of what had been happening, she cried for an hour straight. Living with Aunt Lisa was like learning to breathe for the first time. She didn't yell when I broke a glass. She just loved me. Rebecca was admitted to a psychiatric facility after an evaluation revealed severe untreated mental health issues. My parents faced criminal charges. Mr. Chen's photographs became central evidence in the case against my family. He testified at the hearing, explaining how the injuries told a story that my family had tried to erase. 6 months later, I stood in front of a different camera. This time, I was speaking at a youth conference about domestic violence. Mr. Chen sat in the audience. The hardest part wasn't the physical pain, I told the crowd. It was the silence, the lies. But I learned something important. Sometimes it only takes one person who chooses to see the truth instead of looking away, to change everything. My life had transformed completely. I'd started a photography club at my new school, working with Mr. Chen to help other students recognize and document abuse. We called it Behind the Lens. I'm 18 now, about to start college on a full scholarship to study psychology and advocacy. I keep Mr. Chen's original photos in a special folder on my laptop, not to remember the pain, but to remind myself of the day someone finally chose to act. Sometimes I think about that morning in the gym, standing in front of the camera, terrified and trapped. I think about all the people who saw my injuries over the years and chose to believe the lies because the truth was too uncomfortable. But I also think about the one person who looked closer. The perfect family photos shattered that day. But from the broken pieces, I built something real. And sometimes the most perfect-looking families are the ones hiding the darkest secrets. But the truth always finds a way to surface, if just one person is brave enough to look for it.